It's been an amazing run for the Eagles the last couple of years. Can you just reflect back on it and some of the things that stick out in your mind?
Well, I've been there for the last 3 years, and we've been to at least 3 NFC championships, and of course 1 Super Bowl. And we've had a great run. We've been doing a lot of good things. We have been a lot of positive players, a lot of positive people along the way. We're doing great. Hopefully we'll get to the Super Bowl and get over the hump and win it. But we've had a lot of fun doing these last 3 years, and hopefully we'll get over the hump this year.
What was your Super Bowl experience like last year?
It was great. I had a great time at the Super Bowl. The week leading up to it was a little tough because you always want to get to the game as fast as possible. But I tried to make myself slow down and try to take in the whole experience. And it was great. It was a great week for me, and it could have been a lot better if we would have won the game.
You think, when you guys do go back, that you'll have that advantage, kind of like the Patriots had last year, of knowing what it was like?
I think they definitely had an advantage because they already knew what the week was like, the build-up and everything. And for us, we were kind of new with it. And I think if we get back again, we will have a definitely advantage on whoever we play against because we've been there before, and hopefully we'll win.
You got your contract situation resolved for now. Are you glad to have that kind of out of the way?
I'm glad to get it out of the way a little bit. I'm still looking for that long-term deal that pretty much every player in the NFL is looking for. But I'm glad that small part is out the way, and now I can move on to the bigger part.
Talk a little bit about the Eagles fans.
I feel as though they're the best fans in the NFL. They're always supportive. They come out and support you, rain, sleet, snow, whatever. They always have your back. They want you to do the best, and sometimes they get on you a little bit because you're not doing up to your potential, but they always want your best in heart, and I'm glad to be part of the Eagles organization and have the fans that we do have.
What does it mean in your locker room and to you and the other guys on the team to have such dedicated fans?
It means a lot because we know every game we go out there, we're going to have fans that have our back. They're going to be rooting us on. They're going to be booing Dallas every year. They're going to be talking bad about the other teams, and that's the type of atmosphere we love to play in.
You went to college at Villanova, not too far from Philadelphia. Was it, kind of a neat experience to be able to stay in that same area?
It's great. It's great. I think just being able to stay there has helped me as far as continue to have the same friends that I had in college. It's built me a lot up in the city. A lot of people in Philly think I'm from Philly just because I was there in college for 5 years, which means something because I always do things in the community, and I'm just happy to be a part of that city.
Do you think that you being from a smaller school and having the success you had serves as inspiration for other guys at Villanova and Delaware and some of those other littler schools?
Well, I think it's a lot of very good athletes at smaller schools. I think smaller schools have guys that work hard, they're consistent, they're dedicated, they're committed to the game, and sometimes even more so than guys that go to a bigger school. And so anytime a guy from a smaller school can make it, it just gives inspirations to other guys at smaller schools or even Division II or Division III that they can do the same thing.
Even beyond being familiar with the area, your style as a running back seems to fit in well in Philadelphia and with the offense. Can you just talk about that fit?
Well, I think because we don't run the ball 30 times a game, it fits me a lot. I catch the ball out of the backfield very well. I run receiver routes. I also run screens well, and I run the ball very well too. So anytime that I have an opportunity to run the ball, I'm gonna do a great job. And I have a very high average per run, average per carry, as well as catching the ball out of the backfield. So I think that combination kind of fits his offense a lot.
Has your motto just kind of been the more I can do, the more I can do to help my team, whether it's catching the ball, running, blocking, whatever?
Well, my motto is I'm a team player, and whatever I could do to help this team win, if they need me to catch 70 balls in the season, then I'll do that. They need me to carry the ball 300 times in the season, then I could do that as well. And I've just been very unselfish as far as the things that I have done for this team.
It seems like you guys have a really tight locker room. It seems like everybody's having a lot of fun. Can you just talk a little bit about your teammates and your interactions?
Well, our team, we keep it very light. It starts at the top. Coach Reed, he's not serious all the time type of guy. He allows us to have our own personalities and be our own person. And we have a lot of funny guys in our locker room from a lot of good personalities, starting with Donovan and Hugh and those guys that always are trying to have fun. And I'm just glad to be a part of a locker room like that that's not too uptight, and we are allowed to let our personality show.
You mentioned Coach Reed. What's it been like playing for him?
He's been great. I think Coach Reed has done a great job of getting us ready every year, and I think that's the job of the head coach, is to get your team ready every year to be able to compete as well as have success.
It's kind of a cliche that teams kind of reflect the personality of their head coaches. Do you think that fits for you guys? I think
certain parts of it we do. I think that we're hard workers. We go out every day. We're going to work hard. We're going to try to work harder than the next team. But Coach Reed, he's one of those guys. He's kind of tight-lipped and things like that. But we have a lot of personalities on our team that are kind of different, a lot different than that.
You battled through some injuries the last couple of years. What are the keys for staying healthy this year?
Well, the key is to continue to strengthen my body as much as possible. I think I've battled through some weird injuries, some freak type of injuries these last couple of years with tearing my tricep and things like that. But I think I just continue to strengthen my body, be healthy, and continue to put my body in the right positions out there on the field.
You made your first Pro Bowl last year. What was that experience like?
It was great. It was great. I enjoyed the Pro Bowl a lot. It's great because you're around a lot of great players, and sometimes you don't realize how good you are until you're on that stage where the best players in the game are there. And I definitely appreciate the opportunity to go out there and play.
What needs to happen this year for you guys to make it back to the Super Bowl?
We got to work hard. I think we've worked hard up until this point. I think we've been consistent up until this point with the things that we've done in the years previous. And we can't take anything for granted. Nobody's going to lay down and give it to just give us a game. We have to go out there and try to take it from people every week. And I think we do that. We have that mentality. We're not satisfied with just getting to the Super Bowl. We want to win it. I think we have that mentality. We'll be fine.
You mentioned your community involvement before. I know you had a street ball tournament. You do a lot of things. Can you just talk a little bit about your community involvement?
Well, I'm very involved in the community. Just this past weekend, I had a student lock-in for teens. I had a 3-on-3 competition as well as an Emerald Affair that evening, and it was a great turnout, great in the community. I'm just trying to get the people involved. As far as the kids, I want to give them a positive message. Try to let them know that the guys on the Eagles as well as Brian Westbrook, we want to help them out as much as possible. We have the opportunity as role models to help the kids out, and I think they deserve that from us, and I'm trying to give back to them.
How important do you think it is for athletes, to take the time to be hands-on and give back beyond, just donating money?
Well, I think it's very important because athletes, they have the talent, they have the time to do it, as well as the kids going to listen to them. And I think that's probably the biggest thing. Kids may or may not listen to the parents. They may or may not listen to the guidance counselors and teachers, but kids listen to athletes. And if we have that knowledge going into it, as far as the athletes already know that they're going to listen to us, we have a captive audience, then we have to say something very important to them and let them know to stay in school, to work hard, to be committed to anything that they do. And I think as an athlete, we owe that to those kids.
Like I mentioned before, we're trying to get some guys to say some things that we can use in the Players Inc. corporate video. So basically what it is when Players Inc. goes out to market players to Pepsi, Coors, these sponsors, they show them, a video that kind of has players talking about what we do and some of the things we offer. So maybe if you can just say a few things along those lines, and like I said, we kind of have a cheat sheet here. You can feel free to ad-lib around them. You can feel free to just kind of, read them,
okay.
whatever works for you.
All right. I'm looking right in the camera?
You can keep looking at me, actually, while you're,
Okay.
Or, if it's easier for you to look at the camera, whatever.
Whatever
if you want to read it, if you want to spend a couple minutes looking it over.
Well, I could just read it. Has exclusive group licenses right to all NFL players. These are separate, right?
Right.
Okay. So you want me to look at you saying these things?
If you can, if you need to look at the camera and read them directly into the camera, that works also.
Well, if I'm looking at you, you can put it. Yeah,
does that look all right on camera? All right.
Okay. You ready? Players Inc. has the exclusive group licensing rights to all NFL players. The Players Inc. logo means it's authentic, and the NFL players have endorsed the product. Players Inc. means NFL players. Players Inc. is a partner with the NFL sponsors, helping to make things happen.
Excellent. I think we got it. Good?
Very nice.
I left it downstairs, so Brian.
Let's do a couple of these. A couple of snake ones looks good. Slide going off every time. Figure out which one the with. So what we're gonna do is fix this one. Okay. We're gonna go kind of just like this.